Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition.
This quote, often attributed to Henry Ford, is really the heart of our discussion today. It's the central idea behind a fascinating article from February 15, 2026 by Maria Sukhareva. She published it in her Substack, AI Realist, and the piece is titled, The Uncomfortable Truth About AI Transformation. In it, Sukhareva makes a pretty provocative argument about how most companies are getting their AI strategy wrong.
So, according to Sukhareva, this isn't just a clever saying. It's the fundamental error that so many organizations are making right now. Their AI strategies, she says, are all about creating faster horses, making their existing processes just a little bit better, a little bit more efficient. What they're not doing is inventing the modern equivalent of the automobile.
Okay, let's dive into this first part. We're going to examine what Sukhareva identifies as this widespread, but she argues, deeply flawed way of thinking about AI's role in business.
Now, the common approach that she describes looks something like this. Companies use AI very tactically. They look for easy wins, automating repetitive tasks, finding a very narrow use case to justify some investment. And Sukhareva's point is that while this seems practical on the surface, it actually puts a governor on AI's true potential. It limits it to just optimizing things that already exist. And this brings us right to the core of Sukhareva's argument. It's this critical difference between two mindsets. The question is, are you using AI simply to optimize what you already do, or are you using it to challenge why you do it at all? To really illustrate this, Sukhareva shares a story about a conversation she had with a head of AI at a big company. When she asked about building some essential new AI infrastructure, the executive just dismissed the idea. He said, "What is the use case? No customer has requested it." This is a perfect example of that optimization mindset. It's waiting for a request based on the past, instead of building a foundation for the future. This slide really lays out the two mindsets clearly. On the left, you've got optimizing. It's tactical, it's reactive, it's all about fitting this powerful new technology into old existing structures. But then you look to the right, to the challenging mindset. This is strategic. It isn't about incremental gains, it's about fundamentally questioning the process itself and being willing to rebuild it completely around what AI now makes possible. This quote from Sukhareva's article just sums up her entire point perfectly. If you're a leader in the AI space, your primary job isn't just to make small improvements, it's to lead a fundamental reevaluation of how work actually gets done. So, if challenging processes is clearly the better path, why do so many organizations get stuck in that optimization trap? Well, Sukhareva argues it's because AI is too often used as a band-aid to cover up deeper, more systemic issues. She points to a well-documented cognitive bias. As people, we tend to gravitate toward improving a path we already know, even if that path is inefficient or broken. Psychologically, it's just much easier to patch a problem than it is to dismantle the entire system that created it and build something new from scratch.
And Sukhareva gives some very concrete examples. A company puts a chatbot on its website instead of fixing the awful user experience that's causing all the questions. Or it deploys a fancy AI query optimizer instead of actually cleaning up and restructuring a messy database. These are just technological band-aids. They hide the legacy problems instead of solving them.
So her recommendation is, well, it's pretty stark and direct. Leaders have to refuse to build these AI applications that just serve as long-term workarounds for old problems. She argues that it's a total misallocation of resources, and it actually slows down any real transformation.
So, if organizations need to avoid these traps, what's the alternative? Sukhareva doesn't just point out the problems, she actually outlines a very actionable, though admittedly radical path forward for a much more effective AI strategy. She proposes this three-step approach. First, give people broad access to the best off-the-shelf AI tools available. Second, make sure they actually understand what these tools are capable of. The logic is simple. You can't challenge a process if you don't know what's possible. And only after those two steps can you take the crucial third one. Analyze the why behind the work, not just the what.
Okay, so let's bring all these ideas together. What does this really mean for how we should be thinking about AI's role in our own organizations and our own careers?
Here's the most crucial takeaway. True AI transformation is not just about automation. That's the easy part. It's really about enabling your most creative people to solve complex, non-repetitive problems in ways that were simply impossible before. It's about fundamentally new capabilities.
As Sukhareva concludes, real transformation demands a radical mindset. If you aren't willing to challenge and maybe even dismantle some foundational processes, then any talk of AI transformation is ultimately just talk. It won't happen.
And so, that leaves us with this one essential question to consider in our own professional lives. Is your organization's AI strategy building a faster horse, or is it genuinely trying to invent the automobile?
Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. We also ask that you like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience. And if you find this content valuable, please use the QR code on the screen to buy us a coffee.